Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of This Week in Call of Duty. This is the series where we go over all of the news for a given week within Call of Duty, and over the past couple of days, we've had some pretty interesting information. To start things out, we had the Q1 investors call for Activision, which generally gives us a lot of information as to what is to come next. They did mention the next Call of Duty game, not giving it a title, but said some pretty interesting information about it. We'll be talking about that. On top of that, they talked about Call of Duty sales numbers and active users, and we actually got some numbers for it, which is pretty interesting. We'll dive into that. On top of this, we've got the Season 3 Battle Pass and a cool look at a couple of the different bundles that will be coming out. They're very interesting looking, going very different than what we've already seen in game. And finally, we have Operation Monarch, King Kong versus Godzilla. We got a new trailer on that yesterday, which actually gives us a little bit more information as to what we can expect from the gameplay of that operation moving forward. There's a lot to talk about, but let's start out with the big thing, the thing that you're probably here for, Modern Warfare 2, and what Activision has to say about that. So as I mentioned with the investor calls, generally speaking, they kind of give the information about the money that they have made in that quarter, and then talk about where things are going moving forward. This is the statement that they gave on this. The Call of Duty teams delivered substantial gameplay improvements for Vanguard and Warzone in the first quarter. Development on this year's Premium and Warzone experience led by Infinity Ward is proceeding very well. This year's Call of Duty is a sequel to 2019's Modern Warfare, the most successful Call of Duty title to date, and will be the most advanced experience in franchise history. The new free-to-play Warzone experience, which is built from the ground up alongside the premium game, features groundbreaking innovations to be revealed later on this year. So essentially, three major takeaways there. The first of which is that the next Call of Duty game, which we are assuming is Modern Warfare 2, is a direct sequel to Modern Warfare 2019. There should be zero surprise to this. However, this is the first actual statement from Activision or Infinity Ward to directly confirm this. Yes, it has been confirmed through leaks, but directly from the source, this is them saying that, and there should be no surprise there whatsoever. The second piece of information that we got there has to do with the description of it. They say this is going to be the most advanced Call of Duty game to date. Now, there can be a lot of takeaways to that. That could mean the most weapons, the most maps. It could mean the most changes that we've seen to a Call of Duty game. That could mean a lot of things, but as far as advanced goes in my books, to me, what this means is it's going to be similar to Modern Warfare 2, but they are just taking it to that next level, and that is what they mean by advanced. If you have any other interpretations of the words or what they are saying, I would love to hear what you think down in the comments. It's very, very interesting what they are telling us. The last thing we have is in regards to Warzone 2, or the next free-to-play Warzone experience. First of all, we know it's going to be free-to-play. That's not a surprise to anyone, but it's being developed directly alongside with Modern Warfare 2, which supports all of the leaks that we've previously received about this. Now, it lends to a lot of questions as to when it's going to be announced, revealed, and actually launched, but based off of what they're saying, I would guess that it comes out after the launch of Modern Warfare 2, kind of like we saw with the original Warzone, and we will hear more about that later on this year. I'd be pretty surprised if it came out at the exact same time. Some other good news that we got is that Activision is expanding their team for support for consoles and PC development, as well as mobile support team as well. Really, this should be no surprise and something that, in my opinion, should have happened a long time ago, but good to see that they finally have their thumb on the pulse. Now, in the opposite of that, this, of course, being the active player numbers. So this is in monthly active users. I'm assuming that this is in millions, but I'm not 100% sure. As far as looking at this here, the biggest change you can see is underneath the Activision branch. Other than this, you have Blizzard and King being things like Candy Crush, Blizzard being the rest of the games, and Activision predominantly being Call of Duty, going from 150, what I'm assuming is millions, down to 100 in March 31st, 2022, with an overall decrease down to 372. This they are mainly blaming on the lower sales numbers of Vanguard, but obviously I think the big takeaway here is the further we've got away from Modern Warfare 2019, the further those player numbers have decreased. I would also like to see the player numbers before March 31st, 2021, but as of right now, this is all that we have, and it says a lot. I'd also be very interested to see what happens when the next Call of Duty game comes out, Modern Warfare 2. The next big thing that happened is we got the Battle Pass trailer for Season 3. Now, normally, these are not important whatsoever. However, on this one, it is very important. First of all, we'll start off with the boring stuff. We got introduced to a couple of new things. First of all, the Tier 100 skin looks pretty damn cool. But after this, we have the bundles that go along with the Operation Monarch event. The first of which that you are seeing here is the Mecha Godzilla bundle. And then after that, we have the King Kong bundle. These are both going to be limited time only, and assumingly they will be coming out on May 11th alongside the Operation Monarch event. Now, after this, the important parts are actually what we see in the trailer that aren't the weapons, that aren't the individual characters, but rather the map. We see some new locations, a King Kong buried skull, some of these new kind of stones that have appeared on the map, but more importantly, we actually get to see a little bit of King Kong and of Godzilla. The first one that we see in the trailer is King Kong, and you actually get to see some of the scale of what you are seeing here, and King Kong is pretty freaking big. Now, I'm not talking about the one that smashes the airplane, but right after that, you see some characters running underneath King Kong, and he is freaking huge. And the other thing you see is people actually shooting at him, which means he's going to kind of be like an in-game event, kind of like the armored vehicle that comes by, and assumingly, you're going to be able to take him down. Now, he is pretty cool, but after this, Godzilla comes in, and he does some pretty crazy stuff, including breathe fire, and once again, he is absolutely enormous. Now, that's kind of the gist of what we get in the trailer, but I kind of wanted to break it down a little bit more and try to figure out what exactly this event and this game mode is actually going to be. Now, it's hard to tell just from this trailer alone, but one thing that they did tweet out was asking if you're going to be on Team Godzilla or Team King Kong. What this means to me is that they're going to be fighting against each other, and there's going to be two teams fighting, trying to take down King Kong or trying to take down Godzilla. What this means to me, and what would make the most sense coming out of this, is some sort of team deathmatch game mode, where one team is on King Kong's side and one team is on Godzilla's side. You also saw in the trailer someone holding like the seismic wave kind of finder, which I'm guessing helps you find these enemies giants, if you will. But that is one idea and one theory that I think is pretty solid. Another option is that they just come in-game events, similar to like an armored vehicle or something along those lines. I think that would be pretty far-fetched, and I doubt that's going to be the case. And then the other option is that these operate similar to a Juggernaut, where it comes in on the map, you can pick it up and actually become Godzilla or become King Kong. At this point, there's really no evidence to support that, and also these things are giant, so they're probably going to be pretty damn overpowered, which is why I think a respawn game mode like Team Deathmatch would actually make a lot more sense. So that is pretty much all of the news that we got this week. The main thing is the investor call, and then the information revolving around Operation Monarch, which is turning out to be pretty insane and probably the biggest event we have seen so far within Warzone. I'm very interested to see what happens with that. That's May 11th. Season 3 comes out April 27th, and then we should be getting more teasers and reveals alongside Modern Warfare 2, or whatever that game is going to be called, coming in the next days, weeks, months, and so on and so forth. And of course, we'll be staying on top of that. So if you want to stay up to date on all of that, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on. If you enjoyed this video, it really does help out the channel if you hit that like button. And as for this one, most importantly, I'm curious what you think of all of this news down in the comments, what you think of what we've heard so far about Modern Warfare 2, and of course, with Operation Monarch just around the corner, curious what you guys think about that. Is it going to be a gimmick? Is it going to be a cool game mode? Let me know what you think down in the comments. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are